Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. Today we are going to look at what rebirth actually looks like after awakening. And FYI, it's messy, sacred, and secular. Now, there are moments on the spiritual path where everything begins to switch. You wake up. You begin seeing things differently. You feel differently. You start to question everything you once believed. You suddenly don't feel like you fit into places where you've been, where you are. Things just feel, off. That's the best I could describe it. Things just felt off. What we call that in the spiritual community is awakening. But what isn't talked about enough is what comes after. Now, because awakening is only the beginning, rebirth is what follows. And rebirth, well, it's not graceful. It's messy, it's disorienting, and it happens more than once. So, in many ancient traditions, awakening was never seen as a one-time event. It was understood that it was a cycle, because the truth is, it's not a one-time event. It was a cycle of death and then rebirth, over and over again. And in ancient Egyptian spirituality, this was mirrored in the journey of the soul through death and renewal. In nature-based traditions, we see it as the seasons, especially spring. Nothing blooms without first going through decay. And in many indigenous and earth-based practices, transformation was marked through ritual, not to avoid the discomfort, but to honor the process and to honor the discomfort, because the in-between space, that is considered sacred. Rebirth after awakening doesn't feel like becoming your highest self. It feels like losing part of your identity, outgrowing relationships, patterns, and even versions of yourself, feeling disconnected from what once felt certain for you, and standing in a space where you don't fully recognize your life yet. That's a threshold moment. And thresholds are not a comfortable place to stand. Your soul may be ready for expansion, but your body and your nervous system, it's still seeking safety in what is familiar. So even when you're stepping into alignment, your body can respond with anxiety, resistance, and emotional overwhelm. Not because you're off your path, but because you're walking into the unknown. Ancient teachings understood this. That's why grounding practices, rituals, and connection to the earth were essential for them. They helped the body catch up to the soul. Now, I've been moving through this myself. After a deep layer of awakening, there's been this rebuilding, where I can feel what is aligned, I can see the direction, but my body doesn't feel settled there at all. There are moments of expansion and moments where I feel like I am bracing. Tight chest, overthinking, questioning, even while knowing and feeling inside my soul like this is right. And that's the part people don't talk about. Rebirth isn't just spiritual, it's physical, emotional, and it's nervous system work. Now, our ancestors did not rush the process, and this is one of the most important things that I have learned, is that the process is probably the most important part. The process and the way our ancestors moved through the process is they marked it. Some of the ways rebirth was honored was through fire rituals, where the burning of old identities, beliefs, or even written intentions were done, symbolizing release and transformation. Now, I've personally done a few fire rituals, and I find them very powerful. Water immersion was another way that they honored the process. So through rivers, baths, and oceans, they would immerse themselves or pour water on themselves to cleanse and initiate a new version of self. Seasonal ceremonies were also very big for our ancestors, especially during the equinoxes and the moon cycles. So recognizing cycles of death and renewal. And time in nature, so witnessing the decay, the stillness, and the eventual rebirth, and learning that nothing blooms all at once. These weren't just symbolic, they were regulating. They helped the body feel safe in transformation. Now, let's look at a couple simple practices that you can do if you are moving through an awakening process yourself. So, practice number 1 is just a simple rebirth reflection. What you're going to do is, instead of asking yourself, when will I feel like myself again? Or when will I feel better? Ask yourself, who am I becoming as I move through this? And let that question sit with you. No pressure to answer it right away. Just allow space for an answer to come. Allow space for the new version of you to emerge. And again, whatever comes, no judgment. Second practice that I'm going to share with you today is the rebirth integration through the body. So this is nervous system support. And I want to offer you something that you can do, because let me tell you, when your body is moving through the transition and you're in that threshold, it does not feel comfortable. Because rebirth isn't just something that we understand. Again, it's something that our body has to move through and feel safe while it does it. Okay, so if it feels okay, just take a moment with me. You can keep your eyes open or you can gently close them, whichever feels right and safe for you. You're simply going to, step 1, you're going to orient for safety. So you're going to bring yourself and your attention and focus back to your present environment. So you're going to do this by looking around the room that you're in, and you're going to let your eyes land on different objects, or one, if that's what you want to do, that feels neutral and comforting. And you're just going to notice it. So like, for example, my candle here burning. Just going to focus for a moment on my candle. And I may say something like, I'm here, I'm safe in this moment. Next, again, if it feels right and safe for you, you may place a hand on your chest and one on your stomach, or a hand somewhere, or put pressure. If touch is uncomfortable for you, maybe push your feet into the ground. But all you're going to do is you're going to bring some kind of pressure or touch to your body. And all you're going to do is you're just going to feel that contact, whether that's that contact of your hand to your chest or your feet on the floor. Just feel that contact, feel that connection. And you're not doing anything here. You're not trying to change anything. You're just letting your body know, I am here with you. Step 3, you're going to do some regulated breathing. So you're simply going to take a slow breath in through your nose and a slightly longer, gentle exhale through your mouth. Now, the key is, some people do different time breath. If that works for you, that's perfect. I know in the beginning for me, counting my breath, so I would do 4 breaths in and then exhale for the count of 6. The counting was something that was important to me. It helped me stay focused and keep my attention on the breath. But whatever, there's no rules here. You simply just want to do an inhale and a slightly longer exhale. And the reason you want to do a slightly longer exhale is because that slightly longer exhale signals safety to the nervous system. It activates your safety systems within your body and says, okay, we're safe here. Now, so let's do this together. Just notice the difference in your body. Now, step 4, you're going to quietly or in your mind repeat a phrase that lets you know that you're safe to move through the process. So you can say something like, I can move through change and still be safe. I am safe and supported during this transition. Transition is a part of life and I can do so safely. Whatever it is for you, just, I don't have to rush this becoming. I'm allowed to take this one step at a time. Just find a phrase that brings safety to yourself and reminds you that you're in the middle of a process and that you can move through it safely. And finally, step 5 is micro movement. So once you're done and you have grounded yourself in your body and you're feeling a little calmer, you're just going to bring some kind of gentle movement to your body. Now that could be like simply rolling your shoulders, moving your neck side to side, pressing your feet firmly to the ground. So just to summarize, there was 5 steps. Step number 1, you're going to orient to safety. So you're going to bring your awareness back to the room. So just look around, find an object, focus on it for a moment. Step 2, you're going to ground through your body. So again, whether that's placing your feet on the floor, a hand to your chest, whatever feels safe, you're just making connection to your body. Number 3, you're going to regulate your breathing, and that's just taking a breath in and a slightly longer exhale out. Step number 4 is your rebirth safety statement. So you're just going to simply say a statement to remind your body that you are safe as you're moving through this process. And number 5 is just to bring some gentle movement back into your body. And that's it. Now, this is how we support rebirth in a real grounded way. Not by forcing ourselves forward, but by bringing the body along with us. Because when your body feels safe, transformation becomes sustainable. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions is that once you awake, you awaken only once, and then you arrive. So the awakening happens, you move through the process, and that's it. Ta-da! You are at the end. But here's the truth. You're going to move through many awakenings during your journey and many rebirths. And each one will ask you to release a deeper layer. Each one brings you closer to your truth. And to be honest, each one feels, in its own unique way, uncomfortable. So if you are in a space where you feel like you're between versions of yourself, or things are falling away but nothing fully new has landed yet, or you feel both expanded and unsettled, know that you're not lost. Know that this is part of the process and that you are in rebirth. Rebirth is not meant to feel perfect. It's meant to change you, to soften you, to stretch you, and to return you to you. Again and again. So if you're moving through your own awakening and learning how to navigate the space that comes after, know that you're not alone on this path and you do not have to walk it without support. I am sending you so much love and light. Have a very blessed day.